By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With special guests 3 doors down. And Mammoth WVH. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Creed returns, the Summer of '99 tour.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Double your chances to win all month long in March with 2 big promotions. On Fridays, embrace the madness and win a share of $150,000 in cash and free play. On Saturdays, starting March 8th, go for the gold and win your share of up to $10,000 in cash and free play in the 80K Fool's Gold giveaway. Enjoy live entertainment all month long and play for your chance to win big in March only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700. I need cameras to capture every waking moment between Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston on the same team. The pregame prayers will be generational.
Because that's preacher and a deacon. That's what we're talking about here. That prayer's going to be 40 minutes. We're going to miss the anthem.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't think Game 1 of last night's NBA playoffs was over when the Cleveland Cavaliers took a 20-point lead at home, or when they were up 7 in the final 50 seconds, because Tyrese Haliburton to the rescue once again. Pacers are now up 2-0 on Cleveland. Good news and bad news for the Warriors in Game 2 last night. Good news, they won. Bad news, Steph Curry's got a hamstring strain, and those aren't fun to deal with. Big night in the NBA. These series are getting interesting. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, Chris Vernon going to join me. He, of course, is the host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon, right here at Grind City Media. He'll pop in that chair in between me and Bennett. I'll talk NBA with him. Finish chopping it up with Vernon. We're going to take a break, come back, then we'll do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, according to Yelp, Memphis is merely the 4th best barbecue city in America.
Oh, no.
What in the world? What in the world? I'm going to ask Bennett, on a scale of 1 to 7, how disrespected he feels. We're going to do that in about 40 minutes. The numbers are in for Caitlin Clark's preseason game at Carver Hawkeye Arena over the weekend. Unsurprisingly, they're great. I'll share them with you in just a bit. Pirates phenom Paul Skeens lost to the Cardinals again last night. Oddly, he cannot beat St. Louis. I'll give you the updated numbers. We'll do that a little later on in the show. 2 of the biggest franchises in American sports completed a trade this morning. George Pickens has gone from the Steelers to the Cowboys. We'll discuss that in the second hour. And there's a new roundabout in downtown Memphis. There's a new roundabout in downtown. I like roundabouts.
I'm ready to talk about this roundabout.
I like roundabouts.
I like roundabouts too.
Do you like roundabouts?
I do a lot. I don't know if the city's going to like it.
I like a good roundabout. Yeah. I'm a fan of roundabouts. We're going to discuss roundabouts. We're going to do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start in the NBA because day 18 of the 2025 NBA playoffs. It's officially in the books. It featured 2 games last night. The lower seeded on the road underdogs won both contests. Final score, Pacers 120, Cavs 119. That one was in Cleveland. Final score, Warriors 99, Timberwolves 88. That one was in Minneapolis. So incredibly, the lower seeded on the road teams won both games, which means in these conference semifinals, the lower seeded road teams are now 5-0. And if you go back to Sunday, road underdogs have now won 6 straight games in these playoffs. The highlight last night obviously belonged to Tyrese Haliburton after the Cavs did everything they possibly could to let them back in this game. Cleveland was up 20, all right? Up 20 points at one point last night. Crowd behind them. Seems like this is going to series tied 1-1. We headed back to Indianapolis. Indiana hangs in there. Fast forward to the final minute. Cleveland is now only up 7 with 48 seconds remaining. But still up 7 with 48 seconds remaining. At home, you got to close this out. Couldn't do it. In the final minute, where it started to unravel, Aaron Nesmith gets a stick-back dunk on a missed free throw, which is just outrageous, should never happen. All right, that cuts that 7-point lead down to 5. Subsequent possession, Cleveland turnover. Then it's Pascal Siakam bucket. He cuts it to 3. Next Cleveland possession, another turnover. Haliburton gets fouled, 12.1 seconds left. He makes the first free throw, misses the second. Another offensive rebound, and Kyra, if you got it queued up, let's watch together what happened next.
Seconds. They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Haliburton steps back and hits.
Woo, buddy. That's a game winner. John Haliburton going crazy somewhere, I'm certain. Game over. Pacers now up 2-0. Headed back home for game 3. Big Bet. Bennett, how good was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see it there. I would be lying to you if I say that I saw it live. I turned it off.
You turned it off?
I turned it off. I mean, I thought it was over.
I need to start turning things off. I'm staying up way too late watching these stupid basketball games.
Know,
I'm tired.
I'm really tired too. I know. Once the Grizzlies season ended, I was like, okay, good. Hey, now get some sleep. We don't have any of these late night West Coast games. No, I'm doing the same thing I've been doing ever since the season started.
I mean, I watch game 1, watch game 2, watch the entire post game.
Yep.
I mean, there's John Cena in studio with Shaq and Kenny and Charles and Ernie last night, and I'm still watching that for some reason. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Staying awake so late. But fun night in the NBA, and like we talked about a little bit yesterday, I don't know that I have too many rooting interest with how this thing goes, although, I like the stars being on the big stages, and so I'm enjoying seeing Steph still alive and whatever. But it is more compelling when these series that you think are probably going to go a certain way get off to starts that suggest they could go the other way, because it makes series that feel like they could seem like they're not really up for grabs, now totally up for grabs. And this Pacers-Cavs series that everybody picked Cleveland to get out of now is supposed to go Indiana's way. The Pacers are minus 200 now to win this series in advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, which is, by the way, exactly why you almost always try to get into the playoffs if you can, because you never know what might happen. We had this conversation here in Memphis connected to the Grizzlies when the franchise was in a situation where you can beat Dallas and be the 8th seed, but then you're probably just going to get knocked out of the playoffs by Oklahoma City, whereas if you were to lose this game, you would get to avoid that humiliation and also keep your first-round pick in the 2025 NBA draft. People debated that. We discussed it. I landed on the side of if you can win the game, you win the game. If you can get in the playoffs, you get in the playoffs, because you never know what might happen. Let's get in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, famously, we got into the Western Conference Finals because Russell Westbrook got hurt.
And now look at the Pacers, and this is my point. The greatest postseason in Grizzlies history. Yeah, it's all about the core four. In part, sure. But it's also a byproduct of your opponents being banged up, your opponents missing key players. God bless the core four forever, But if
that happened, yeah.
If every other player on every other team were healthy, there's a decent chance they never find themselves in the Western Conference Finals. But whatever, they got there. And now they'll all be celebrated forever, in part because of that. You just get into the fight and you see what happens, because you never know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And what is going on right now with this Pacers team is a wonderful example of that. Who was talking about the Pacers 2 weeks ago? They're the 4th seed in the West. They won 50 games. Cool. Congratulations. But your best player is quite literally the dude who got voted by his peers as the most overrated player in the entire NBA.
I think that was a mistake.
So congratulations. You won 50 games. You're the 4th seed in the East. But, man, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't the Celtics. And you know what? You ain't even the Cavs. And you know what? I don't even know if you're going to get past Milwaukee, because they got Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's best player in the series. And, I read somewhere Damian Lillard might be coming back. So where are the Pacers going? That's where we were. That's where we were 2 weeks ago. But then you know what happens? Yeah. After they finish 14 wins worse than Cleveland, 11 wins worse than Boston, people are saying, where are they going? Then they get to play Milwaukee with Damian Lillard still battling blood clots at the beginning of the series and then tearing his Achilles 6 minutes into Game 4. So they end up in a best-of-7 series against the Milwaukee franchise that really doesn't even have its second-best player. All right? All right, cute. Then you can knock out them, and maybe that's the end of Giannis in Milwaukee. But now you're playing Cleveland. What are you going to do now with Cleveland? Where are you going now? Congratulations, you're in the Eastern Conference semifinals because Damian Lillard has blood clots and a torn Achilles. That's cute. You're still led by the most overrated player in the NBA, and now you're about to get your brains beat in Cleveland. Well, Darius Garland's hurt for Cleveland. And then suddenly last night, Evan Mobley, DeAndre Hunter. So now you're in a best-of-7 series against a team that throughout this entire season has proven to be better than you, against a team that is better than you, against a team that everybody is picking to beat you. But they're missing 2 of their top 3 scorers and 3 of their top 6. So now you're up 2-0, headed back home, and you're minus 200 to win the series and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight year with a 25-year-old who, yes, was labeled by his peers as the most overrated player in the NBA, but, buddy, he's shutting people up now because he looks like he's built for the moment. He said last night after the game, there ain't no way I'm passing that ball. Once I get it back somehow, some way, I'm taking that shot. He's wired the right way, built for it, and now that franchise is headed to what appears to be a second straight Eastern Conference Finals. And I know if they get there and they're playing the Celtics, nobody will pick them. And they'll probably lose. But, man, if Damian Lillard can tear an Achilles in one series and the Cavs can be missing 3 of their top 6 in the next one, at least in part, who knows what it's going to look like by the time you get into a series with Boston? Who knows who's going to be available and who isn't? Just get in the fight and see what happens. That is the forever lesson of the NBA playoffs. Franchises that advance into conference finals, into NBA finals, often benefit from the exact thing that the Pacers are benefiting from right now. Yeah, Tyrese Haliburton being a star. Going from overrated to underrated, it looks like. That's a big part of it. You know what a bigger part of it is? They got to play the Bucks without the Bucks' second best player. Now they're playing the Cavs, and last night Cleveland was missing 3 of the top 6. I don't know that they can beat Boston if they get into a 7-game series with Boston, but I don't know who's going to be available for that series, one way or another. Get in the fight and see what happens. Did it work out for the Grizzlies? No, it didn't, but it could have. Per usual, the Grizzlies just didn't get any of the good breaks. But the Pacers are getting tons of great breaks right now. And again, they could end up in the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight year with a 25-year-old point guard who is removing all overrated labels connected to his name. So we get that one done, then immediately go to Minneapolis. Warriors, 99. Timberwolves, 88. Good news for Golden State. You got a victory. You're up 1-0 on the road. You've grabbed home court advantage in this best-of-7 series. Bad news, of course, Steph Curry had to leave the game. Strained hamstring. he did not return. Not expected to make an appearance in Game 2. And Bennett, as you know, as somebody who studies status reports from @Grizzlies PR all season long, hamstring strains, these aren't the best things to deal with. You would actually rather have an ankle. You can shoot things up to deal with that kind of stuff. Hamstrings are a little more complicated, and there's a decent chance that not only will Steph miss Game 2, but he could miss multiple games in this series, and who knows, perhaps the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing for them winning is you don't have to play him in Game 2. I'd be shocked if he plays tomorrow night.
I mean, Charles Barkley last night, who, by the way, has no insight into what the Warriors will actually do. He's not texting the front office, but he was like, there's a 0% chance Steph Curry plays in Game 2.
No.
I wouldn't put it quite at 0 because you never know, but I'd put it really close to 0.
Right.
You just go take a shot on the road to go up 2-0. Worst case scenario, you go back home 1-1, and Steph has gotten some time in between appearances to get that to as good of a place as it can get. But there's a decent chance it won't get to a great place anytime soon. So that'll be the big question mark hanging over this series. But the postgame got really interesting, and not just from the Golden State side, but from the Minnesota side, where Chris Finch, the head coach, pretty publicly called out Anthony Edwards after the game. Ant got off to a horrific start and really didn't have a good game. Got better as it progressed, but horrific start. And the body language was off. The vibes were off. And Chris Finch was basically like, yo, you're the leader of this team. If you're not making shots, you can't deflate. Your teammates pick up on that. And if you're not making shots, you need to do other things. Your energy, effort, all of that stuff can't be tied to whether or not you're making 23-foot jumpers or not. You're supposed to be the face of this. You're supposed to be the leader. You have to conduct yourself appropriately, act the right way, show yourself the right way. I knew Anthony Edwards didn't have a good game. You could see that. And obviously he was taking some criticism throughout the broadcast. But I didn't expect the head coach to go in there and get on him like that.
Yeah, I mean, I bet he'll have an awesome game too. I mean, there's no doubt he's going to have a huge game too.
The most likely scenario, given the Warriors' approach to everything, because they're like constantly, we'll punt on this game and we're fine and we'll get the next one, and they've always got everything planned out. And everything's always going to be fine. We can lose this game, but then we'll go back home, we'll knock this thing out, and it'll be fine. They're just never concerned. It almost backfired on them in the Houston series, but they ultimately got out of it. The most likely scenario in this game too is Steph does not play. They mentally clock out of the game, and they get blown out at the Target Center in Game 2, minus Steph Curry, and go back home 1-1 with the idea. You'll hear this from 7 different people after Game 2. We did what we wanted to do here. We got the split. We got Steph some extra time to rest and heal, and we'll hopefully be ready for Game 3, but we're in a good spot. This is where we wanted to be. They will be unconcerned with the loss, and once you go into a game already sort of mentally unconcerned with the loss, that's a good way to just get beat by 25.
Yes, very true. No, I thought Barkley made a good point about Anthony Edwards. If you're the other team, you just love it when he's a three-point shooter. And he'll make a lot of them, on most nights. But that's what you want if you're the other team, is him to be a three-point shooter.
I guess. I struggle with this, and then we'll get Vernon in here, and I'll ask him the same question. But it's just funny to hear Charles, he quite literally said this last night. This was a sentence that came out of his mouth. The worst thing that ever happened to Anthony Edwards is he became a great three-point shooter. That's just not a normal thing to say out loud. The worst thing that happened to this shooting guard is that he became a great shooter. That just doesn't, I get the larger point about Anthony Edwards attacking, puts more pressure on the defense. It gets other folks involved. It creates foul trouble perhaps for the other team. I get all of that stuff, but it's not like Anthony Edwards, broadly speaking, shoots 19% from three and just keeps he's a very good three-point shooter. And in a world where three-point shooting is more valuable and emphasized than ever, it just seems like a weird criticism to keep aiming at him when he is still quite clearly, in terms of impact, one of the very best players in the world. But that was a rough night last night, and it'll be interesting to see how he responds to his coach very publicly calling him out in the post-game press conference following that Game 1 defeat. Chris Vernon will be in here next.
We talked a little bit about Jalen Wells. Jalen Wells, man, he finished third in the balloting for NBA Rookie of the Year. He's going to be back. He's going to play in Summer League, and maybe he'll shoot some left-handed jumpers out there. Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
This week, we're going to run down the hits and the misses from WrestleMania 41.
The main event, NXT title on the line, Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans. One of the greatest triple threat matches I've ever seen in my life.
I'm shocked.
And it made history because it's the first time there's 3 black men highlighting the NXT pay-per-view.
Okay.
That was dope too.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. It's a yucky day outside. Hopefully that clears up, or else it's going to be nap time at the Parrish house. Chris Vernon is the host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon, Grind City Media. He's in studio right now. Let me ask you this. We were talking about it as we went into break. The criticism of Anthony Edwards that Charles Barkley constantly levies, which is he shoots too many three-pointers. Is that a fair criticism, considering he's a 39% three-point shooter?
No, I don't. I think, look, I think it is only fair if you are putting it in the context of he should be driving more. Right? Because you saw, this is a small Warriors team. So I think there's a portion of you're letting them off the hook. I think that's, look, they went 7 for 47 in that last game against the Lakers. And I think the criticism is not you are taking too many threes. It is you are taking too many threes versus something that would be much more effective, right? Which I do believe. I mean, nobody can stay in front of him, right? So it's almost like you're letting them off the hook, but the percentage is high, and I think he hit more than virtually anybody in a season this year. So, I mean, fantastic player, but I mean, this is, and I talk about this all the time, this is the problem solving that goes on. And I look at this and I go, look, we all know Anthony Edwards is infinitely better than a 1-point first half. But when you are going up against guys that have been coaching and playing in
all manner of different problems that have been presented to them, they're going to look at it and they're going to say, like, this is what happens. They're going to sit there and say, we're not going to let you do this. We're not going to let you do this. This is where, trust me when I tell you, they know exactly where Anthony Edwards is most comfortable shooting from.
Right.
Right? And it's like, that we're not letting him shoot whatever it might be, right? I don't know the numbers, but like they do. I promise you, they know what he's. That 39% is compiled,
yes,
and one of those is probably 47% from a wing three, whatever. So those are the ones we're not letting happen.
So you push him this way, correct. You don't let him go here, you don't let him catch here,
yes.
All of that stuff. I mentioned this recently. It might have been with you, but I saw a thing with Bob Myers years ago, and he was talking about this specifically. When you're evaluating players in terms of free agency and all that, you really need to focus on the postseason more than the regular season, yes. Because he said in the postseason, whatever it is you do well,
yep.
We are not letting you do that.
Right.
So if you don't have a secondary thing or another thing you can get to, then you are not the same player anymore, because we're taking the thing you want to do. We might not take that away a Tuesday night in January. But in Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals, you are not allowed to do that.
That's why I'm always married to vet teams. That's why I always talk about guys not winning until they're in their upper 20s. It's because part of that, and the majority of that, is they've had to solve that problem over and over and over. You don't think Nikola Jokic, like, you could watch him in that Oklahoma City game, and he's going back to the bench and saying, okay, they're doing this, now we're doing this.
Right.
Like, he's been through it, right? You saw last night, that Minnesota team, they look like they never played basketball.
Right.
Were they at 28 points in the first half?
Yes.
28
yes.
in a half of basketball, right? We watched them. We just watched them play against the Lakers. They had no answers.
Now, because Steve Kerr made a point of this in postgame, like, yes, we're playing amazing defense right now, but we've been doing this since the trade deadline. Since we added Jimmy Butler, we're the best defensive team in the league. Is it as simple as Jimmy Butler changed all of that?
I think a huge portion of it, especially when the guy plays 41 minutes, but I think it is a combination of having Jimmy and having Draymond.
Right.
These guys, I have always thought Butler he's probably been the most underrated player in the NBA for the last 10 to 20 years. And is a bona fide basketball genius who makes his teammates better on both sides, right? And I do think that I think there's a couple things. I think there's scheme. I think there's Draymond he's the catalyst for all of that, right? He's the catalyst for all of that. So you have a guy, like, a lot of these teams, interestingly enough, they don't have true, like, quarterbacks of the defense like Draymond is. And he is a true quarterback of the defense. And he knows, like, again, the problem-solving thing, he knows exactly what is hurting us and exactly what we need to do to combat that. And I think that, there's two guys that maybe have not gotten the credit over the course of their careers that they deserve because of their attitudes or because of their public persona, but they're both amazing basketball players. Amazing.
Were you surprised Chris Finch went at Anthony Edwards so publicly last night?
No, because he's done that throughout the year. I mean, if you even saw that one of their best wins of the entire season, you might recall, was they had that huge comeback in Oklahoma City, and he left him on the bench. Yeah. And I remember thinking, wow. Like, I think you get away with that when you have the relationship with the player, right? Like and Finch and Edwards have had such a good relationship that I think when you see somebody as bright as Chris Finch do something like that, he knows.
He knows he can do it.
Well, and he also knows how it will be taken.
That's right.
And he knows that it will elicit the proper response from Anthony Edwards. I bet you get an Anthony Edwards home run effort in the next game. That would be my guess.
I haven't seen every Anthony Edwards press conference ever, but it seems like I've noticed him. He takes criticism okay.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't push back on it too much. He'll be like, yeah, I hear that. I understand. Yep. He's pretty good at it like that.
Yeah, no. I think that, again, it's all dependent on the player, right? And Chris Finch knows him. He's coached him for a long time now, and he knows how to elicit the response that he desires. And so, like I said, I'd imagine you get a monster Ant Edwards game 2. If you didn't, then that would be truly cause for worry.
So if you're Golden State, under normal circumstances, you're up 1-0 over a Timberwolves team that looked a little shaky. You're feeling great. On the other hand, Steph left the game. He's got the hamstring. It just puts a cloud over everything. You don't know.
Yes, and every year we talk about this, and I say hamstrings, groins.
Yes, it dictates the playoffs
and calves,
every year.
And calves.
These
soft tissue things.
I can't prove this, but it feels true that injuries dictate the NBA playoffs just as much, if not more so, than they do the NFL playoffs.
Oh, and I bet these science nerds are going nutty today because I just read that Steph Curry in the game before had run the most he had ever run in a basketball game.
Right.
It's like 1.9 miles or something. I mean, you watch the game, he's just running around.
That's all he does. Runs in circles. He runs in circles.
And then he turned back around, after playing a game 7, and then so all these nerds
got to get on a
plane
2 days later.
That's why
you rest. That's why you load manage.
Meanwhile, Mikal Bridges playing 50 minutes.
Right.
There is no rhyme or reason to this.
It's just something that happens.
Yes, but it'll be a confirmation of in some ways. I'm sure when they see. I mean, in fairness, the guy's 36.
Yeah. Like for every one of those, you can show me. I can show you a team that decided to not play its starters even 30 minutes per game the entire season in the spirit of we'll be healthy and fresh, and by the time you get to the postseason, you're down to 2 rotation players and John Morant has to leave the season again.
Well, and to your point on the you don't get to do this, you don't get to do that, and your weaknesses as a team and as a roster are exposed tenfold when it comes to this time of year. Whatever it is, right? Ty Jerome looked awesome during the regular season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a different deal.
I mean, he's getting his ankles broken. He's 1 of 10. I mean, it was a disaster, right? It's a different basketball. And everything is so honed in. That's the problem for the Warriors, is because in the course of a game, you're not now changing your strategy to deal with the non-Steph Warriors.
Right.
When you now have a few days to put together your strategy for the non-Steph Warriors, now all of a sudden, Buddy Hield's not getting open looks anymore in the same way.
They'll lose by. I'd be more surprised
really
by them winning game 2 than I would by them losing by 30.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, you see both of these games tonight, and this is the why Cleveland has to worry such a great deal, beyond the fact that they were banged up as well, and we've been through this many times in Memphis with playoff series. You get really worried if the second game after you've made your adjustment does not give you a huge boost, right? Like, theoretically, if we've had a close game in game 1, now in game 2, and you lost, hopefully in game 2, you run off on that team, right? We've seen it many, many times. Hell, we've done it over and over again. Did it against Minnesota, did it against the Lakers, did it against Gold. Like, I mean, it's happened here. Where you get worried is if you make those big adjustments and it doesn't render it to be, I want to blow somebody out if we played a close one. I want one of them, it's got to be one or the other, right? Either I blew them out and now I get to game 2 and it becomes a close game because now they've made their adjustments. But if you make your adjustments after you lose and it still doesn't render some great result for you, that's very, very troublesome. And obviously, look, like the Cavs, I mean, that was a debacle. Like, truly a debacle.
How do you give up an offensive rebound stick-back dunk?
Bro.
He just flew out of nowhere.
Now, this is unfathomable. They had 26 points in the paint in the 4th. The Pacers did.
Yes.
That is unfathomable.
No.
If you scored 26 points in the paint over the course of a game, you'd score 104 points in the paint. These teams aren't scoring 100 in the game.
No.
That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. And it just kept bringing back, this guy that used to coach at the Grizzlies, Gordon Chiesa, years ago. He was a longtime Jerry Sloan assistant. And take it for what it's worth, but it's one of those things that I remember. He would say the regular season is about analytics, right? About these numbers. And the playoffs are about toughness.
Yeah.
And you saw, bro, they were clutching and grabbing these guys. Kenny Atkinson bitched about it at his post-game press conference. But, I mean, they were fighting.
That's right.
Fighting. Like, you don't get – they missed, what, 4 of the 9 free throws they took, I think, in the quarter. They got 2 of them back.
They got them back. They got the
misses. Haliburton got the 1.
Right.
And
at
then
the end,
backed up and hit the 3.
Yeah, no.
That was amazing.
No.
These playoffs have been crazy.
Like the best.
The best.
The best.
Yes.
And what's going on, and I'll get you out of here, with the Pacers is exactly why I was a proponent for the Grizzlies trying to get in the playoffs no matter what.
Yep.
You just get in the fight and see what happens. I don't know where I thought the Pacers were headed 3 weeks ago, but they got into a series with Milwaukee and Dame's not available. And now they're in a series with Cleveland, and 3 of the top 6 didn't play last night. Sure. And this is the way this stuff happens.
It's every year.
Every year.
Every year. And I mean, look, it is hard to watch that first game and think that Minnesota was going to be in a great spot if Steph Curry doesn't get hurt.
Right.
But that's a totally different series now.
Oh, yeah.
Completely different series now. This would be the most unbelievable Jimmy Butler. I mean, he drug Miami.
Oh, he's capable of doing that.
And it's like, dude, if he did this, like, what if he just turns back into playoff Jimmy, like in like the full form? And because he's just been like team basketball Jimmy.
Oh, and like deferring to Steph and like he's our best player,
right?
Like all that stuff. I like that attitude. I like him. Like he has somebody.
He's Batman.
Yes.
That's what he keeps saying every game.
He's standing next to somebody he respects for the first time in a minute.
Right.
And like that.
It's still Jimmy and Draymond, man. It's still Jimmy and Draymond.
Yeah. Like I just think the mindset of that franchise is like, let's just set Steph down. Let's get back home. We'll be fine.
Right.
I think they'll lose game 2.
Probably.
But then, like, we'll see where it goes from there.
We'll see. And honestly, like, look, if we're at the park, we want Jimmy and Draymond.
That's right.
Like, if you tell me, hey, your life depends on this game, like, again, the other 3 might not be good enough.
Right.
Might be. Right. But, I mean, Julius Randle didn't look as good as he did against the Lakers, did he?
No. Fun series.
Your king was a joke.
I'm sorry.
In retrospect.
I'm sorry.
In retrospect.
Well, he's 40 years old. What are you going to do? He's a 40-year-old king. He's a 40-year-old king. Chris Vernon will be in the big studio. Give him about an hour and 20. Noon tip-off.
Get out of my way, Bennett.
Bennett, make room. Make room.
George Pickens, dog.
He's got George Pickens.
Oh, yeah.
He's got him a number 2 receiver now.
Yep.
Now he's get a number 1 quarterback. Now he's got to get a number 1 quarterback, but he's got a number 2 receiver. The Yelp reviews are in, Bennett.
Okay.
Do you know what they said?
What?
There are 3 cities in America better at barbecue than Memphis, than your home, Memphis, Tennessee.
Ouch.
Do you find that disrespectful?
I'll let you know.
I'm going to give you the other cities, and then we'll discuss and debate. We'll do that next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
We're going to do our pick 6, 6 favorite Outkast songs in honor of Outkast being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Elevators is the most creative.
Me and you.
Yes. Your mama and your cousin too.
Every time I hear somebody say me and you, I
just go to the next one, right?
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots. That
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're gonna get seated this. So who's gonna actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app. Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays in the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in. And Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Bennett, first, I'll frame it this way. Memphis has once again been named by Yelp as one of the top 5 barbecue cities in the United States of America.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is a
I have
talk show,
microphone,
so you're going to
forgot.
need your mic.
That's great. That's great news.
Okay. Now I'm going to frame it differently. You tell me how you feel.
Okay.
Memphis is only the 4th best barbecue city in America, according to Yelp, ranking behind San Antonio, Austin, and Kansas City.
Oh, interesting.
You feel slighted?
Actually, no, not at all, because I would have thought that North Carolina would have maybe been one of those. And
Not in the top 4. The top 4 in order are Austin, San Antonio, Kansas City, and Memphis. If you're curious, Nashville came in 10th.
I'm not as.
Do you feel slighted, disrespected?
I don't feel slighted or disrespected.
We like to claim.
Yeah,
we like to say
I know we do.
we have the best barbecue in the country.
I know.
That's what we like to say. Mm-hmm. Yelp is saying, not so fast, my friend.
This is one of those things where it's like, we love our teams. We love our Grizzlies. We love the Tigers. People love their team. Mm-hmm. We love our barbecue here,
Mm-hmm.
right? We love them. They're the best.
That's what they say, but Yelp says not so fast. Yelp is saying not so fast, my friend.
I think once upon a time, I fought that fight. I was like, it's the best. Nobody else compares. It's just not true. It's just not true. It's just not true. Okay, people literally go and wait in line like hours to eat at some of these places, especially in Texas. Like, what is it? That Franklin's Barbecue? Is that what it's called? People go wait in line like 5 hours to eat that stuff.
All right, Bennett. I didn't expect.
I'm just saying. What am I supposed to do? I
didn't expect to be here this morning.
I'm okay with being top 4. I'm okay with being in the top 5.
I didn't expect this. I remember a time you used to fight for your city.
I know.
You used to fight for your city.
I still do.
It doesn't sound like you're fighting for your city. I said, I can't. I looked right at you, and I said, Yelp thinks that Austin, San Antonio, and Kansas City have better barbecue than Memphis. Mm-hmm. And you looked right at me, and we were like, yeah, probably.
Okay. But you
used to fight for your city.
No, there's levels. There's levels.
You used to fight for your city.
No. Just hang on. Let me defend my position, okay? You want to talk Who has the best barbecue nacho? Well, we're number one. We have the number one barbecue nachos.
Don't pander.
No. There's different things.
You're pandering.
Okay? But like beef brisket, can we claim to be number one? I don't think so. Smoked sausage, that counts? Yeah.
I like smoked sausage.
I don't think we can claim that. All right. It's good here too. But we have certain dishes that I think we are number one. I think we are like barbecue sandwiches. I think we're number one. Barbecue nachos. I think we're number one. Ribs. Maybe you can argue. I don't know.
I didn't see this coming.
I don't know.
I didn't see this coming. I thought this was pretty easy. In a time where we're starting to, get a little down about ourselves sometimes. Yeah. We got swept out of the playoffs, right? We haven't been feeling so great around these parts. Mm-hmm. And so I thought this would be a perfect device I'd just sort of like put it on a tee for you, and you'd be like, F Yelp, and F Kansas City, and F San Antonio, and F Austin, F Texas, F North Carolina, Memphis barbecue is the best. Mm-hmm. I thought that was where we were headed. Mm-hmm. Instead, you're like, yeah, no, I can see it. I guess we're just lucky to be in the top 5. You used to fight for your city.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
Have you given up? Have you been beaten down so much you don't even know how to fight anymore?
I have been beaten down.
Have you been beaten down so much you don't even know how to fight anymore?
I have been beaten down quite a bit. No, I mean, again, we have a ton of great barbecue establishments in town, which I frequent a lot, okay? So don't get it twisted. I love our barbecue.
I'm trying not to get it twisted, but you keep twisting it up for me.
Name one where people are waiting in line for over an hour to get barbecue. Because it's happening at those places.
I didn't expect this. This is not what I saw coming. This is not what I anticipated. I didn't wake up today thinking this is the conversation we're going to have.
It's happening at those places.
I remember when you used to fight for your city. I understand I know what it's like to be beaten down. Mm-hmm. To lose your passion. Mm-hmm. I've done that before. I've lost my passion before.
I mean, dude, we're still a part. We've always been a part of the national conversation, and I'm good with that. I've accepted that.
Oh man!
Like when they do like the barbecue shows, like a tour around the country for the best barbecue. Memphis is always there, and I appreciate that.
I remember,
and they do like the blind taste test. Sometimes I saw one of Memphis won. Memphis won the blind taste test.
Man, I used to. The Memphis I grew up in.
Yeah.
We used to lead. We lead the conversation when it comes to barbecue. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, we might have a.
Did we? That's the thing. We say we did. We say we do.
At least we used to say it. You're not even saying it anymore. At least we used to say it. You don't even say it anymore. Yeah. Can you say it?
Well, I mean, we lost our damn international barbecue contest. I don't think we do that anymore. That's gone. I don't think they do that anymore. So, like, and I'm not talking, like, I know we got other barbecue contests, which are great and a great thing for the city. I'm talking about, like, ones where, like, there's, like, real stakes, like, real trophies, and it goes in, like, the national registry.
You're making some decent points.
I'm just saying, dude. I've lived here my whole life. I love this place. I love our barbecue. I think we have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? We're not number one, but top 5 is good enough.
You think it's time to do some soul searching. Mm-hmm. It's time to look in the mirror, do some soul searching.
We're top 5 in the country, in the world.
I wanted to lead the barbecue conversation. And among those I thought I could count on would be you. But you stopped fighting. Now you're just happy to be involved. You went from wanting to win an Academy Award to just being happy to get nominated. Mm-hmm. You don't even want to hold an Oscar anymore.
Sometimes that's good enough.
Didn't used to be. Didn't used to be good enough.
Times have changed.
Not good enough for Timothy Chalamet.
Again, we have like barbecue nachos. I'll put ours up against anybody. Okay, barbecue sandwich. I'll put ours up against anybody. Some of the other stuff, I think there's a debate to be had.
Do you want to know the honest to God truth?
Yeah.
Here's the honest to God truth when it comes to barbecue. Mm-hmm. For me. Mm-hmm. I can't really tell the difference.
Oh, no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I think it's just like I take a bite and somebody's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Man, this is good."
See, I just won this whole conversation because you said that.
I go to like Central Barbecue and I go, "Man, this is good."
Yeah, right.
And then I go to Payne's and I'm like, "Man, this is great."
Okay, well, those are two great barbecue establishments.
But then I go to Rendezvous and I'm like, "This is
great,
amazing."
too.
And then I go to a Memphis barbecue, and then I'm like,
I love barbecue shop.
This is great. But then I go to Lubbock, Texas, and I go to Evie Mae's, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I go to North Carolina, and I'm at the North Carolina, and I'm like, this is awesome. And then I go to Kansas City, and I'm at Bryant's, and I'm like, this is amazing. I just like all of it. I think it's all great.
I think it's all great too. And I'm glad that we're a part of that.
If I'm being completely honest with you, I am not capable of telling you what's better than. I can only tell you if something's good or bad. I can't rank levels of greatness. Like I could walk out of here today and go to Central Barbecue and be like, that was the best lunch I could have had today.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could go to Payne's and I could be like, that was the best lunch I could have had today. Or I could go to any of them and I'd be like, this was great. But I could do the same thing in Texas or North Carolina. I am not sophisticated enough with my palate to distinguish between great barbecue and like
pretty good.
No, I know the difference between pretty good and I think most of it's great. I always enjoy it.
Okay.
I always enjoy it.
I always enjoy it too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like even like the crappy like barbecue nachos at the fair, I'll eat those.
I'll eat that, and
that's
it's fine. Whatever, man.
Yeah, that's good too.
Whatever. I have never had somebody hand me something that they called barbecue nachos and not enjoyed consuming that. Are there different levels to it? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But like, long as you got chips and cheese and barbecue, jalapenos, that's going to be good enough for me,
That's
probably.
gonna be good enough for me too. Again, I'm fine being top five. In fact, I embrace being top five. Top four, in fact.
I mean, technically top four.
Yeah.
Like in the final four.
That's good enough for me.
But
I mean, we beat out North Carolina. What's their sorry ass doing?
What are they doing over there?
They're not in it.
No, they're not in it.
Yeah.
They're not in the top four. They're not in the top four.
I'll take it.
I just like that when we aspired for more, that's all.
Well.
There's a time where in the city, specifically you and everybody like you, would be greatly offended by finishing fourth in the Yelp barbecue rankings.
I was once upon a time.
I know. And you've lost your way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost your way a little bit.
Yeah. When we lost all of our trophies, I think
You've lost your way a little bit.
I think I've lost my way.
This is not what I expected. All right. Well, I guess
I'm content. I'm happy, and I love our barbecue. That's all I want to say.
I'm gonna eat some barbecue today. I think
I might eat some barbecue today too. Because of this, because of this list, I'm gonna support one of our local barbecue establishments. Amazing barbecue establishments. It's all good.
I'm gonna support local barbecue establishment today too. All right, Bennett. We're gonna get back on track. We're gonna get our head right. We're gonna try to do better in 2026.
Number 2.
The numbers are in on Caitlin Clark's preseason game that she played at Carver Hawkeye Arena over the weekend. That, of course, is where she played her home games at the University of Iowa. And
beat the crap out of Brazil.
And
then signed autographs for everybody.
And took pictures and TikToks. She's just a different deal.
Yeah.
The average viewership on ESPN, preseason WNBA game, 1.3 million, which was 13% higher than regular season games did on ESPN in the WNBA last season. So Caitlin Clark preseason games outdo WNBA regular season games, broadly speaking. Like I've said before, she is the most important athlete for any professional sports league right now in the world, and I don't think it's close. I don't think Patrick Mahomes means as much to the NFL as she means to the WNBA. I don't think Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic, anybody means as much to the NBA. Any one person means as much to the NBA as she means to the WNBA. Major League Baseball, not even close. There's nobody that compares. Shohei's amazing. Juan Soto, I love him. None of them matter that much to baseball. Like if they just disappeared, all of these people, the NFL would be the same thing it's forever been. Major League Baseball would be the same thing it is. The NBA will be the same thing it is. If she disappeared, everything changes. Everything changes. Do you see the average ticket price on the resale market? How much you think average ticket price to get into a preseason Caitlin Clark game at Iowa was this weekend?
Average ticket, $120.
$440.
Jeez. Yeah, that's intense.
$440.
That is crazy for a preseason game. That's wild.
She's a monster.
I mean, that's our alma mater. They
of course,
love
it was
her.
a special thing.
Right,
But she's a monster, man. There's a million think pieces out there about why exactly she has generated this type of attention and enthusiasm and how she's become what she's become. However it happened, we can debate that another day, but there is no denying that it has happened, and the proof is in the numbers. Nobody else could have this kind of impact in any other sport in America at the very least.
Number 3.
Paul Skeens lost again last night. Sophomore season, Major League Baseball, not going as well as his rookie campaign when he, of course, started the All-Star game, Rookie of the Year. He's now 0-4 in 5 career starts against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals have his number. Do you think Paul Skeens gets things turned around, or is Livy Dunn becoming too much of a distraction? Can't be long before they get to that topic on Get Up.
Oh, I mean, will he turn around his individual games? Yeah, probably. Unfortunately for him, he plays for a franchise that does not care about winning at all. Maybe more than any other franchise in professional sports.
That's a real problem.
They do not care. It's weird. I mean, it's Pittsburgh.
It's baseball is the most frustrating.
It's so frustrating. It's why people have just. I know their numbers are up.
There's too many franchises that just don't even try. They don't even try. Say what you want about where the Grizzlies are right now, but they try.
That's right.
That's right. The Pirates. You're a Pirates season ticket holder.
What's the point? I mean, if you just like going to the ballpark.
If you just like going to the ballpark and jumping off the Clemente wall.
Right. Maybe that's why he did it. Did you ever think about that?
I did think about that. Pirates games are wild. I saw another video yesterday. So just like last week, you had a fella jump off the Clemente wall.
Yeah. The security guard? Is that what you're talking about? The security guard just beat the crap out of that guy.
Yes.
It was wild. I've never seen that. I'm like, wait. Typically there's got to be some kind of something happened first. And yeah, they were barking at each other. But then the security guard was just all right, I'm about to beat the crap out of this dude.
It was very clearly one of those situations where the fan thought, I can say whatever I want to this security guard because he can't.
Security, what's he going to do?
He can't do anything to me.
Contraire.
And the security guard was like, buddy, they don't pay me enough to not. They don't pay me enough to not knock you out if you say one more word to me.
That's exactly what happened.
And then the fella, because I've seen this fella before, he got into one of these weird situations where it was like, all right, there's a little bit of a crowd, cameras are on you.
I can't believe I just got decked in the face twice.
And then you're in that situation where, okay, I probably should walk away, but if I walk away, I'm forever a P.
Yeah.
But so I might need to stay and fight, but if I stay and fight, I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Yeah,
it's a tough spot to be in.
I've watched that video a couple times. Yeah. The problem with that, with how he handled that situation is that's a split-second decision. That dude throws a couple punches in your face, your lips bleeding. You can either start throwing punches right back, or you can do the whole, let me take off my jacket and warm up. And it's like, bro, we already know who you are.
I know that trick. You know what that trick was? That was, let me walk over here, take off my jacket, act like I'm ready to go. That's I never got into a fight at school, but I always had a strategy. If I were going to get into a fight at school, do you know how I was going to do it?
What were you going to do?
Literally punch somebody right in front of the teacher.
So they can break it up real quick.
Yeah, like let's get into the principal's office. I'm gonna hit you in there.
Yeah, this situation, there's no help coming. You're fighting the security guard. That's his section.
Yes, he's the only person that's supposed to be breaking this up,
right.
and he's the one starting it. All right, so I know what that was. It was like, all right, I'm gonna take off my coat and walk over here, and you're just hoping like somebody come over here and break this up.
And
so it doesn't happen. So it doesn't look like I walked away. It looks like I'm ready to fight. Oh, too bad security got here. Now they're going to save you. I was going to fight you, buddy, but now I can't because security got here. He was waiting for somebody to get over there and break it up.
It didn't happen. God, what a cringe
Here's
video.
the problem. If you go and wait for people to break up your fight at a baseball game, you got to go like a Dodgers game.
Yes.
Where there's fans. You couldn't even tell there was a baseball game going on.
No.
There was nobody there.
No. There was barely anybody watching the fight.
This dude had a whole section to fight you in. Right. And ain't nobody coming to save you.
No.
Pirates games are crazy.
Yeah.
You got one dude jumping off a wall, another dude getting beat up by a security guard. Paul Skeens can't win. Whole thing's gone to hell. Beautiful stadium, though.
That's what everyone says. Everyone says it's a great stadium.
So you and I had talked about, somehow we got into this conversation about that Pittsburgh stadium looks really nice and whatever. I don't remember. Like, we always got baseball on at the house, and a Pirates game was on over the weekend. And I think it was Kelly. She was like, "What stadium is that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Pittsburgh." She was like, "Oh, that looks nice." And we were like, really like, let's go to Pittsburgh and see the Mets and go to that stadium and go see Paul Skeens. And it's just like, do I want to take my kids do I want to travel, make a big trip out of it, and then just go to an empty baseball stadium? It doesn't, when I take my kids somewhere, I want it to feel like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And you just go to Pittsburgh, and it's just like we would be sitting there with 400 people in a big stadium, completely empty. It wouldn't feel the right way, I don't think.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's what the Orioles were forever, right? Just the same thing. Didn't go under their old ownership. Maybe the new ownership, who knows at this point. But they just didn't care about winning, and they have a great ballpark. You go to Camden Yards, it's one of the most beautiful ballparks in the country, but you're not going to see a winning baseball team.
It's why in the next CBA, when they have to put in, everybody always talks about a salary cap. Major League Baseball, you know what it needs more than a salary cap? Salary floor.
That's a good point.
You have to spend at least this much.
Yes.
The Dodgers pay Shohei Ohtani. The Mets pay Juan Soto more in one season than other franchises pay their entire payroll.
Yeah.
You've got to have a salary floor. Tell owners, you've got to spend this much on your roster.
Yeah, you can't own a team.
You can't own a team and spend $44 million on your entire team. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
It's a real problem. It's a problem in Pittsburgh. Paul Skeens, the truth is, his ERA is up to like 2.77, but it's still only 2.77. He's not nearly as dominant as he was last season. ERA, Ks to walk ratio, some of that stuff, but he's still one of the best young pitchers in the entire world. Can't beat the Cardinals for some reason, but he'll have another chance soon.
Number 4.
George Pickens is now a Cowboy. Is this a needle mover? Is this a needle moving?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Is this a needle moving development for America's team?
I actually think it worked out okay for both franchises. One in Pittsburgh, like Mike Tomlin did not like George Pickens. Like, he did not. I mean, he talked about him publicly quite a few times and how he needs to grow up.
Would it concern you at all that every time Mike Tomlin decides he doesn't like somebody, it kind of turns out to look like he was right?
Maybe so. Like, no, it would probably
Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
All right. That's
Le'Veon
fair.
Bell?
Yeah.
When if Mike Tomlin doesn't like you, it makes me think I shouldn't like you either.
There could be something to that.
I trust Mike Tomlin.
There could be something to that. But I mean, for the Cowboys, like, they needed another piece, and they get a guy who's, really, really good. He's a great receiver, Pickens is. Like, that's going to help them right now, and they needed to add something to that offense. So I think it makes sense. When the Steelers went and got DK Metcalf in the offseason, I was like, okay, this George Pickens might not be there very long. That's kind of the writings on the wall. And now it sounds like you're seeing, after all this, it looks like the Aaron Rodgers thing is looking more and more like it's going to happen in Pittsburgh. And so this could also be one of those, I don't know if I want to play with him.
You've been on the For You tab.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I know. I can tell when you've been on the For You tab. You got Aaron Rodgers conspiracies.
I got Aaron Rodgers conspiracies.
I knew you did.
Yes. What else are they going to do? He is going to Pittsburgh, right?
That's what they say.
They're really going to, opening day, start Mason Rudolph at quarterback? No.
They've been trying to do that for years.
That's insane. You cannot do that to your fans. Look at what the Pirates are already doing to your city. Like, come on.
You want another man to try to jump off the equivalent of the Clemente wall?
Yeah, dude. Like, you can't do that.
We already got Pirates fans jumping off the Clemente wall.
Yeah, that's not going to work. So I think it actually works out for both of them. It's going to open up more opportunities for our guy Calvin Austin. I mean, Tim and DK Metcalf right now.
You don't need a George Pickens around when you got a Calvin Austin.
You're damn right.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Year three leap.
I think
he's year 3. I think Calvin Austin's been there for 2 years already.
Well, you say it's a needle mover.
I think the Cowboys.
I trust Mike Tomlin. If Mike Tomlin doesn't like you,
right,
then I don't think I want to like you either. Like if I had access to Mike Tomlin, I'd just bounce things off of him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, what do you think of Chris Vernon? And if he was like, I don't know if I can trust that guy, it'd make me a little skeptical.
How many games until George Pickens and Dak Prescott are yelling at each other on the sidelines?
2.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
2.
Over under 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
All right. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember we said this.
Yes.
Number 5.
Oh, we got a new roundabout in downtown Memphis. Have you seen our new roundabout?
I have. We did like a big unveiling. We did a ribbon cutting.
I
didn't know you even did ribbon cutting for this kind of stuff.
Man, look at that. That looks like, oh man, I can't wait to see how many people crash in that thing.
Well, GP, I've been to France.
I know you've been to France and Peru.
Yes, Paris, France, in fact. One of the great cities in the world.
I've been to Paris, France.
Well known for their roundabouts.
Oh yeah, I've been in a roundabout.
So look, I mean, I'm super familiar with roundabout. Like if you put me on that roundabout, I would conquer that thing like that.
I don't want to brag.
Yeah. Brag, please.
No, I don't.
No, please.
I know how it comes across sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It always sounds like I'm like, oh, he sure does think he's something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to brag. I don't want to come across that way. I'm pretty good at a roundabout.
Yeah. I feel like I'm really good at it too.
I'm pretty good.
It's all about merging. Like you
got to know how to merge.
You know what you have to do in a roundabout?
I know exactly what you have to do in a roundabout. I'm pretty good at them. I don't want to brag, but I'm pretty good at them.
You have to go with the flow.
You got to go with the flow.
You can't be timid going into a roundabout.
No, you got to be confident.
You got to be confident and sure of yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
You got to be confident, sure of yourself, and just flow with the traffic. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how much roundabout experience our city has, and it worries me a little bit. Like, do I want to go drive on this roundabout tomorrow? I think I would do good.
I think I would
do good. But
I think you and I would we could go around that roundabout all day long.
Yeah.
No issues. I'm scared when we let other people who aren't as experienced or naturally gifted at roundabouts the way we are, there's going to be some growing pains.
There's going to be some growing pains.
I think there's going to be some growing pains.
Yeah, that thing is about to back up traffic.
Man, nobody knows what to do with that. Nobody knows what to do with that.
Bro, they have a roundabout at the Target over there at the interstate, like at 240 and Ridgeway, and I swear to God, it's like the smallest It's smaller than the size of this room, and buddy, people get to that thing and just stop and don't know what to do. Everybody's looking at each other. What do I do?
I give it 1 week before somebody gets shot right in that roundabout.
Okay.
No, somebody's gonna merge inappropriately. And you know what happens next.
Yeah.
There's a road rage incident every day.
You got to go with the flow.
That's the thing about roundabouts is if I could give one bit of advice as an experienced, naturally gifted roundabouter, if I could give one bit of advice, it would be you just got to go with the flow.
Yep.
I tell you one thing. Where I really...
Don't tap your brakes. No. You never tap your brakes in a roundabout. Ever.
No.
We move.
You keep going till it's time for you to get out of that thing. All right? You keep going till it's time for you to get out of that thing. You know where I really elevated my roundabout game? Oxford.
I figured they would have roundabouts there.
A lot of roundabouts.
It's like an eclectic
It's
town.
a lot of little roundabouts.
Yeah.
You can't get to you can't get to M-Trade Park for 8-year-old baseball without going through multiple roundabouts.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at a roundabout.
I don't. Where is this word? Crump.
Yeah. You're just begging for problems there.
I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go hit it today.
I think I'm going to go hit it today.
I want to go hit it up today on the way home.
I want to go hit the new roundabout.
I do too.
Did you see how much it cost? How much you think that cost?
Dude, let's go. Let's drive. Let's follow each other and just like keep going. Let's get. We can help everybody.
Show them the way.
Let's get in there,
show them
me
the way.
and you, and be leaders and just go,
And just show people.
go. Here,
This
come
is
on,
how you
come
do
on.
it.
You come over here. Yeah, let's go.
I tell you, you ain't lived till you try to do a roundabout for the first time self-driving. You got to trust your car to understand how to roundabout.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
That was a big moment for me. You got to and I'm gonna see. All right, let's see. Let's see if you can self-drive through this roundabout.
I know we can do this.
Do you know how much that cost? How much do you think that cost?
That roundabout?
Yeah.
Couple grand.
Couple of grand.
I don't know. How much does a roundabout cost?
Bennett, this table cost a couple of grand. What are you talking about?
Like $1 million? Is it like $1 million?
$111 million
for that?
That's what I said,
bro. It's just concrete. It's just a concrete circle.
Who paid $111 million?
How much does it cost to lay down concrete?
Let's make sure I'm saying that right.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Memphis roundabout, 111. Let's make sure I'm getting that right, because that's what I read, I think. Yes. After 3 years of construction and $111 million, the roundabout replaces the previous Cloverleaf interchange and will tie into the new I-55 bridge. 111?
Okay,
we could have kept 901 FC for like 5.
Yeah, could we not have given them some of that? My God.
We should have just let them play soccer in the roundabout. Put some bleachers up and let them play soccer.
All due respect to the city, I think we called the wrong roundabout company. That's an inflated price. That is an inflated price right there for a roundabout.
There must have been a tariff on it.
The biggest tariff.
The biggest tariff ever was placed on
tariffs must have hit before, yeah. Well, no, the tariffs hit after we planned this roundabout. This has been in the works. We called the wrong roundabout company.
We did not price this thing out
at all.
How does a roundabout cost $111 million?
Bro, I mean, you call the cement truck comes out and you lay the concrete in a circle and then you let it dry and then you spray some paint on it, like some little lines. You don't even need lights at a roundabout. There's no lights.
We could have just taken that money and re-signed Santi.
We're going to lose Santi Aldama because of this damn roundabout, aren't we?
We got a roundabout, but we're going to lose Santi Aldama. We could have just taken that $111 million, kept 901 FC.
Hope it was worth it.
I hope it was worth it. We are going to lose Santi Aldama and 901 FC. We could have kept both those things for less than the cost of a roundabout. I'm a fan of roundabouts, but that seems like
that seems steep.
Here's exactly how this would go down if I were in charge. All right? They'd come to me and they'd be like, Mayor Parrish, we're looking at putting in a roundabout down off of Crump. I'd say, I like roundabouts.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm pretty good at them. Huge fan.
Experienced.
I go to Oxford. I enjoy the roundabouts. I'm a fan. Let's do it. What's the cost on something like that? $111 million. I'd be like, hold on. What? We're not going to do... Bennett thinks it should cost $2,000. Bennett thought the whole roundabout should cost $2,000. Dude, I'm trying to get a basketball goal installed at my house. That's more than $2,000.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
But $111 million. Hey, here we could be able to. It should be somewhere between $2,000. It should be more than $2,000, but way less than $111 million.
I think that's fair. Yes.
I don't think we priced this out.
I do not think we thought this through. I don't think we thought this through.
I promise you, I got some buddies I grew up with who could have got this done for $74,000.
They've been laying concrete for their whole lives.
Yeah,
it'd be the most pristine looking roundabout you've ever seen.
$74,000. I could have got this thing done. I don't think we priced this out too much.
I do not either.
Let me give you some facts about roundabouts real quick.
Okay.
Because I know some folks are going to be skeptical. And, like, the price on it seems crazy. But roundabouts do significantly, like the studies show this, they significantly reduce the severity of crashes compared to traditional intersections. So are we going to have some growing pains? Yes. But if you're going to have crashes, having them in roundabouts, much better than having them at traditional red lights and four-way stops and stuff like that. Because, somebody runs a red light.
Those are head on.
Well, it could just be like you're going 45 miles per hour or 65. You run a red light, boom, now everybody's dead, right? But a little roundabout, you're going to mess your car up, but nobody's going to die in a roundabout.
Just a little clip.
Yeah, you're just going to clip people, right?
Scrape or a clip.
It reduces head-on collisions, reduces the severity of collisions, and also increases traffic flow. There's a terrible four-way stop between my house and our youngest son's school. That if you hit it at the wrong time, you're going to spend the next 6 minutes waiting for this to get to, it's like four-way stop and you're 17 cars back. So it's like one car goes, then this car goes, then this car goes. Now you move up one car. And it's a 6, 7. I'd kill for a roundabout right there.
I swear to God, if we miss out on Giannis because of this damn roundabout, I'm going to be livid.
I'm a fan of roundabouts, but if somebody says, we don't have the Giannis money because we spent it on the roundabout over there at Crump, I'm going to be like, we didn't think this through too much.
Kevin Durant, he likes Memphis. He likes Ja. Unfortunately, we spent $111 million on a roundabout.
Do I like having a roundabout? Yes. Do I think we might have overpaid for it?
Likely.
Yeah. So it'd be like, hey, you want a pool? Yeah. Who wouldn't like a pool? Yeah, I'll take a pool. Okay. I'll put a pool in your backyard. Bennett, would you like one? Sure. I'd like a pool. You got young boys. Everybody likes to get in the pool. Summertime, it's nice. Okay, Bennett, I'll build you a pool. It costs $40 million. You'd be like, well, I'm not going to pay $40 million for a pool. That's crazy. That's exactly how I feel about this roundabout. And let me be clear, if it's not clear, I don't know anything about the actual cost of roundabouts. It just sounds expensive.
It sounds expensive.
It just sounds expensive.
They can get a fountain in the middle of it.
I mean, how much more for a fountain?
They could have thrown in a fountain in the middle of it.
I mean, it should have been part of the negotiation.
Yeah.
They'd be like, it's going to cost $111. And I'd say, that sounds high, but if you could throw a fountain in the middle,
I'm in.
We'll do it.
Okay.
Throw a fountain in the middle and we're done here. I don't think we did this the right way.
No, I don't either.
And I want to be very clear. I have no idea if we actually did this the right way. I can't speak on it. I have no experience in this field.
I'm going to get over there, though.
I want to go check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to go check it out.
What if we went over there and just wrecked into each other?
And it was on the news.
It could be on the news.
Yeah.
Anyway, I look forward to seeing.
I
look forward to seeing what appears to be the most expensive roundabout in Memphis history.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive roundabout in Memphis history.
I'll be there.
I'll be there too. I can't wait. All right, we'll be back with GP's Carry.
Talk a little bit about Jalen Wells. Jalen Wells, man, he finished third in the balloting for NBA Rookie of the Year. He's going to be back. He's going to play in Summer League, and maybe he'll shoot some left-handed jumpers out there. Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
This week, we're going to run down the hits and the misses from WrestleMania 41.
The main event, NXT title on the line, Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans. One of the greatest triple threat matches I've ever seen in my life.
I'm shocked.
And it made history because it's the first time there's 3 black men highlighting a NXT pay-per-view.
Okay.
That was dope too.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second
took
time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance.
But
of
you get a
sticking.
lot of stuff. You get a parade. I think
do?
you go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Parrish Show presented by Orthos. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryouts.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but I think the most important thing is that Bennett has wildly underestimated the cost of a nice roundabout.
Yeah, clearly.
Bennett went with $2,000.
I said a couple grand.
Which
all
is,
right.
Which is $2,000. Which is $2,000. That's what you said.
Dang.
You couldn't even get your flower beds done for $2,000, Bennett.
I meant like $10,000 or something like that. It's concrete.
It's $111 million. Is that the most expensive roundabout ever
made? Yes.
Ever made?
Ever made in the history of
to be.
civilization, yes.
It has to be. Can you imagine being the... You know what I want to be? I thought this is what I wanted to be. I thought I aspired to do exactly... I've now changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I want to be? A roundabout maker.
Yeah. You ain't kidding. You think they're not living pretty right now?
Like I had a... One time, long time ago, we had an air conditioning problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like... Our normal heating and air guy was out of town. And then the other guy I grew up with was... Something was going on. And it was just like... And it's 1,000,000 degrees in my home. And like everybody's sweating. And we got to get something done now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like literally just call 24-hour heating and air guy.
Oh, no.
All right. So I did that. This guy came out to my house. And... He was like, yeah, it looks like this and this and this and this and this. I was like, buddy, I know it's hot. We're all sweating. It's July and we're in North Mississippi. Just give me a number. And like, I need my air conditioner to work. And I swear he was at my house for 30 minutes and handed me a proposal. It was like $42,000. And I was just like, it just seems crazy to just agree to pay somebody I've never met before $42,000
For anything. For literally anything.
Like I'm hot, but like
I'll wait this out.
Yeah, I was like, buddy, just and it was wild because I was like, because I didn't just say, are you crazy? I didn't just say that. I was like, well, let me talk to my wife. I did one of those.
Yeah.
Let me talk to my wife and then I would circle back with you. And he was like, yeah, that sounds good. And he never even like reached back out to me. I think it was so outrageous.
Yeah, he was like, let me see what I can do here.
And like knew there's no sense in reaching back out.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to see if this sucker is sweating so much he'll just write a check for $42,000 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember him doing that. And I was like, this is crazy. But then I was like, but if it works one time, if there's one person out there who's just like, I guess this is what it costs, $42,000, here you go. If it works one time, it's like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is a similar strategy with the, hey, State of Tennessee, City of Memphis, whoever else is involved and whatever. I already told you I don't know anything about this. You guys you need a roundabout? I make roundabouts. I can make you a roundabout. Okay, cool. Make us a roundabout. How much would it cost to make us a roundabout? $111 million? Okay, sure. I think they just threw a number out there like that fella threw $42,000 out of me.
They must have called that roundabout company over there near the Arc de Triomphe in Paris.
And then they put a tariff on it.
Yeah.
They put a tariff on a roundabout.
You got to call the roundabout company in like South Haven.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, even better, Walls.
Yeah.
Let's call a roundabout company down in Wall. We get this thing done for like about $80.
Yeah, dude. I don't think we did our research.
I guarantee you I grew up with people who could build you a roundabout for less than $1,000. They could, and they have it done by noon. I feel like the roundabout company was just like, let's see if these idiots will pay us $111 million for a roundabout. Let's just see what's up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, all right, yeah, sure, $111 million. Here's $111 million for a roundabout. Seems high.
It seems high to me.
By the way, so I told this fella, I was like, I can't give you $42,000 for air conditioning. So then my other guy came back in town. He came over, looked at it. He just put free on it. It was like, I think I wrote him a check for $300 or something. This fella tried to make me pay $42,000. I got out of there for like $3,000. I feel
That's
like
insane.
It's insane. But like if it works one time, like this guy is going around to houses, people who are desperate, and like my AC's out. You tell 40 different people it costs $40,000, and if you just hit it one time, that's a pretty good
You're
day.
golden, yeah.
I feel like the roundabout company is using a similar strategy.
I do too.
I think they got over on us.
I think they might have. I think they might have.
I think they got over on us.
What's today's biggest game?
NBA playoffs, Bennett.
What's going on tonight?
Oh, Bennett, what do you mean what's going on tonight? We got another doubleheader. Knicks and Celtics. That's 6 o'clock. 8:30, Nuggets and Thunder. I'm going to take you to the Paycom Center.
Okay.
In Oklahoma City, place the Grizzlies lost by 51 points. Not too long ago. Denver won. Aaron Gordon 3. Final seconds, you probably heard. Tonight, Thunder, 10.5-point favorite. They're laying a big number at home. Total's 230.5. 8:30 tip TNT. How you going to act?
It's screaming to take the Nuggets. It is 10.5. And you know what? I'll bite. Yeah, Nuggets.
Nuggets plus 10.5.
Yeah.
Best player in the world plus 10.5. You're going to take that every time. That's what I hear.
Yeah. I think the Thunder will win, but
that's too many points to give to a Nikola Jokic. That's what I think I hear you're saying.
Points.
That's what I think I hear you're saying. Of course, I watched that Thunder team beat the Grizzlies by 51, Bennett.
Oh, they did, and come back from down 29. They can cover ground quickly.
They can cover ground quickly.
Nah, you know what? No, Nuggets.
Bennett says take the Nuggets plus 10.5. Tip off 8. This is the only thing I want to do tonight. This has been rough for me. 8:30 playoff games, which means they don't start till 8:50.
Right.
All right. And then the Mets are in Arizona. That's been an 8:40 first pitch.
Yep.
So I'm locked in. And then I look up, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Here's my promise to myself tonight. 8:50 tip. Let's be done with this game by 11. And let's have GP's eyes closed by 11:05. I don't want to stay
cutting
up.
it close.
I'm
It's
tired
gonna be cutting it close.
I'm tired of staying up late, Bennett. I'm tired of being awake late at night. Let's wrap these things up. Let's just, in fact, Thunder, I'm not rooting against you, but I wouldn't mind seeing a blowout. I wouldn't mind closing my eye. I wouldn't mind the Mets being up 6 runs in the 7th and the Thunder being up 24 points in the 4th.
I feel like I should take the Thunder.
And let's just call it a night. Let's go to bed early tonight. Wake up tomorrow feeling fresh. I wouldn't mind waking up tomorrow feeling fresh.
That works for me.
All right. Bennett, you're taking the Nuggets plus 10.5.
Yes,
You ain't changing your stuff.
No, I'm not changing my mind.
All right.
What are we watching on TV?
Episode 8 of The Studio has dropped on Apple TV Plus.
I still haven't started it yet.
Okay, this is another problem. I was so wired after all these baseball and football, basketball games. Then I watched episode 8 of the studio last night.
Yeah.
That's how I closed my night. It's terrific. You got to get on. I know you're saving
I'm gonna watch
to
it.
binge the whole thing.
Yep.
First season is 10 episodes. We're now 8 episodes in. And I really do believe this. There's not a bad episode yet.
Okay.
Every episode is some combination of smart and funny.
Yep.
And what's hilarious about it is they're almost making fun of themselves. It's like a Hollywood-made show about Hollywood with Hollywood making fun of itself, mocking itself along the way. It's just really good. Seth Rogen, he's the star, the creator, directs many of the episodes. It's terrific. If you're looking for a new show to start, the episodes are only about 30 minutes each. They're 8 episodes in. Most recent one dropped today, Apple TV+.
What's the best thing we've read?
Over at CBSSports.com, they have updated their projections for the college football playoff next seasons. Who do you think is going to be the number 1 overall seed according to CBS Sports' updated projections?
Georgia.
The reigning national champs, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Why did I say that?
Right now, the projections would be this. Ohio State as the 1 seed, Texas as the 2, Clemson as the 3, Iowa State as the 4. Then it's Penn State at 5, Notre Dame at 6, Alabama at 7, Oregon at 8, LSU at 9, Miami at 10, Georgia at 11, and the group of 5 representative. Remember last year around this time, we thought maybe, just maybe, it could be your Memphis Tigers.
Yep.
Do you know who's projected to represent the group of 5?
I'm sure it's Boise State.
It's Navy.
Navy?
The midshipmen.
What they got going on at Navy? I know they had a good year.
They got a lot of stuff going on at Navy.
I saw that the odds
Quite
came.
a few things. Hey, Annapolis, home of the Naval Academy. Been there many times.
Yep.
They got some good roundabouts.
I figured they did.
Oh, man.
I figured it's sophisticated over there.
They got some good roundabouts in Annapolis. I'll tell you that.
I believe it.
I mean, I elevated my roundabout game in Oxford. We've established that. But did I get some reps in Annapolis? Yes.
Nice.
I've had reps in Annapolis.
Very nice.
I like a good roundabout.
I do too.
I don't know if I like them at that price, $111 million. It's a big price, but I like a good roundabout. If you want to read the college football playoff projections, you can do that right now. Homepage, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Thursday, so we'll be looking back at tonight's NBA playoff games, looking ahead to tomorrow's NBA playoff games. Mike Wallace, Grind City Media, he will join me in the second segment. Should be fun. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine, and we'll meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.